Hey, what's up guys, it's Jrasa here. It's Mammal Monday, and today we're looking at the Thylacine, also known as the Tasmanian tiger. The Tasmanian tiger was a marsupial, a group of mammals that includes kangaroos, wallabies, wombats, and opossums. Unlike other mammals, after marsupials are born, they live in their mother's pouches, also called the marsupium. You see, there are three groups of mammals: the placental mammals, the marsupials, and the monotremes. These three groups can be distinguished mainly by their way of having children. Placental mammals give birth to fully developed children. Some examples are bears, whales, lions, and humans. Marsupials give birth to children that are born early, but finish developing in a pouch. This group includes mammals like kangaroos, wombats, opossums, and of course the Tasmanian tiger. And monotremes, such as the platypus and echidna, are mammals that give birth to eggs? Yeah, monotremes are a weird sort of early mammal, but we'll talk about them another time. Back to the Tasmanian tiger. After being born, they live in their mom's pouch for about 3 months. To learn more about their lifestyle, I'll let our friend Tani, the Tasmanian tiger ghost, explain.
Hi, I'm Tani and I'm a Tasmanian tiger. Well, now I'm a Tasmanian tiger ghost. Yeah, us Tasmanian tigers, we love to eat kangaroos, small marsupials, and rodents and birds, and we were all over the world, like in Australia, New Guinea, and Tasmania. But then we got wiped out, except for, Tasmania. Times were really tough, especially when dingoes pulled up a few thousand years ago and they started eating our food. We hate dingoes. But anyways, we lived in Tasmania and we were doing all right until European settlers arrived in the 1700s. They set up a bunch of bounties on us. And then our population dropped a bunch in the early 1900s. And then, as you know, both in the wild and in the zoos, we went extinct in 1936. That means we were dead, gone for good, like a love bug to a Florida windshield of a Chevy on its way to Disney World.
Wait, how do you know about Disney World?
I'm a ghost. I can travel anywhere. I may be a member of the animal kingdom, but I love the human international cuisine at Epcot. Speaking of which, I gotta go. I'm about to take the exit.
Well, thank you, Tani. I appreciate you taking the time to give us some history. Next, I want to talk about common ancestors. A common ancestor is a last parent that two animals share. You and your relative usually share some traits inherited from your common ancestor. For example, you probably look a lot like your sibling, because the last common ancestors of you and your sibling would be your parents. With your cousin, who you might look less similar to, the common ancestor would be your grandparents. However, if we're looking at different species of mammals, the common ancestor could have lived millions of years ago, so a lot of grandparents ago. The Tasmanian tiger looks very similar to dogs, but Tasmanian tigers are marsupials, and dogs are placental mammals. So we know that their last common ancestor lived about 150 million years ago. So, why do dogs and Tasmanian tigers look so similar, even if their last common ancestor was so long ago? The answer is convergent evolution. Convergent evolution is the evolution of similar structures in different organisms, even if their common ancestor didn't have that trait. Let's break it down more. Evolutionary success is measured by how many kids an individual has. If individuals with a particular trait or set of traits are able to have more kids, then the overall population will start to look more like them. This is basically how selection in evolution works. For the ancestors of both dogs and Tasmanian tigers, it seems that having long snouts, sharp teeth, and a slim body for running made both lineages more successful at hunting and thus having kids. Thus, even though the ancestors of dogs and Tasmanian tigers looked very different at first, they started to look more similar through convergent evolution. Because of that, dogs and Tasmanian tigers both ended up filling similar roles in their ecosystems as apex predators. The role an animal or plant fills in an ecosystem is known as their niche. Convergent evolution is also the reason that Tasmanian tigers have stripes on them, just like your classic cereal-loving tigers. For both animals, having stripes allowed them to be more camouflaged, sneak up on prey, and have more kids. Although the Tasmanian tiger has been extinct for nearly 100 years, its existence still stands as a beautiful example of evolution and a tragic tale of human impact. Unlike the dodo bird, we have photos and videos of the Tasmanian tiger walking around and just living. These videos remind us that every animal that's ever lived and gone extinct, because of humans or another cause, is just as real and interesting as animals around today. There are millions of dollars being pumped into the effort to bring back the Tasmanian tiger. But even if these measures did succeed, it would just bring back one species out of the hundreds going extinct every year. Every species tells an amazing story, and to cause an extinction is to rip out pages from the amazing book that evolution has written. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something. If you'd like to learn more, you can check out one of these other videos about animals or biology. Thank you for joining me for this Mammal Monday. And remember to stay curious.